教授大家추진지가 졸라벤치 산제로 저 다야타 가데가데 파라송가데 보디스 다야타 가데가데 파라송가데 보디스 다야타 가데가데 파라송가데 보디스 다야타 가데가데 파라송가데 보디스 심지어 탐제가도 도달하나 마치고 산제에 공부하는 것이 진행자 도봤자 대시되는 장조선을 납작한 최신의 장 나와래 신고를 토를 토제쇼 만화가 저거도 하는 가서 라브게 쇼는 얘기 삽삽체.
And so then we start by setting our motivation to do whatever we possibly can to attain the peerless state of enlightenment, knowing that to attain that state I must also perfect all the trainings on the Bodhisattva path, and to perfect those trainings I need to have a good understanding of them. To gain a good understanding I need to be able to rely on a non-mistaken text, to have trust in that text. And so it is with this in mind that I am here this morning to listen to a teaching from the Graduated Path Teachings to Enlightenment.
남준의 제체는 가서를 다 조신세다 조신세다는 다 가지고 조신되게 돼. 다 지금 자사지야. 그러다 야 뒤지는 가서되다. 조신做的了这那么多强气那么多强的让给지고 아니 배마디 님만 다외 된도 괜찮아.让给지고了된도属于什么我的这让给他过的这叫嘛给甚至他们就有3-3
And so as we begin in the context of this text as usual also, we visualize the merit field in front, and as fully and as completely as possible, starting with the principal figure of the Guru Munindra Vajradhara, sitting on the throne with a lotus and moon and sun disk mandala seat, etc. And then with the having visualized the entire merit field, then you subsume that entire merit field into that central figure of Guru Munindra Vajradhara, and then invite Guru Munindra Vajradhara to our crown, where he will remain during this teaching.
지단은 거라도 국근에 제발이네 그 제왕도 아니 그 두가를 왜 세트는 초주 산제의 자주선 탐제 왜 세트는 젠자의 초주 산제 자주선 탐제 아니 가서됐다 가서될 다다들라 또 별로 고들 팀수 삼삼 근데 삼삼도 약고 약거든 그래서 그다 그거를 그 뭐부 챙기도 그 제왕도 아니 딱 그때네 두가를 왜 세트 아니 초주 산제의 자주선 탐제의 신경을 줘 안대다게 아니 구수도 다 대다게 아니让人 이와치 젠자네 아니 그때 팀수 삼삼 whatever and the good that chojo sanje tamje dani samsajan su chada choba pyeda and molam jae the kushap chi da deba che ina good ni ba chimba chumuro.
So that's again saying in general this is a good practice to have of really empowering whatever statues, representations of the Buddha that we have or that we have affinity towards, and that to imagine that from there light emanates, countless rays of light emanate to all the Buddha realms, inviting replicas of all the Buddhas in all the Buddha realms to come and absorb into those Buddhas, and thereby in our own imaginations they're empowered, much more empowered, and that's something that can be of benefit to ourselves and our practice. They are a kind of representative of embodying all enlightenedness, enlightened Buddhas.
응. 그냥 가서 캄베나레다 산제 고요래. 아니 단데 요르바다 집에 소설라메 자벨라메 골라서 받을 용거 산제 자주서 그 그때다 딱까지 두간에 니리니레들 삼다 두간에 왜었죠? 아니 그 주요 산제 탐제게는 라데 니버시티 때는 주요 산제 탐제 다니 삼사때 어때서 어떤들 차다 주바 표기나.
And so that's very, very good for us in our own houses, like in our own places of practice, where we have our representations of the Buddha, our statues and so on, of various Buddhas and deities and so on. that we do that. The light emanate, inviting all the Buddhas from the Buddha realms, they absorbing into our Buddhas and in our homes, and that we see them then as the embodiment of all Buddhas, and then make our prostrations and offerings and so on, and our practice toward to them.
근데 맞잖아. 아니 그 그런 제가 이나다 가서데 네팔이다 자가다 디바 소조 구지로다 무제 소조로다 다 이냥 가라 저기 디 산제 다지 산제 가서데 다 꾸들레데는 산제 최토에다 아니 랑게 삼루고 토네는 산제 지랍데 젠장네 아니 지랍 슈토에 제디 개침버려도.
So it's very, very important to that we kind of really engage in this sort of kind of constant evaluation of our statues in this way, not just to leave them as something that was made in Nepal or India by some sort of artisan, craftsman and so on, but rather that we elevate that as it should be to that which embodies all of the Buddhas, and thereby indeed when we make our prostrations, when we make our offerings, then we are invoking the blessing of the Buddhas then as well, and being able to avail of that. Gyatang Juksum and a one the sick Shiba Gana. So the Gamdrogi, the Mobile Gurwani, because of the Keba Shebala, Seni Lake, Yowa, Kebani.
So you do Chile con the tomatoes are getting so
Chinle did.
That took you in the Kembata Zewa, neither as like Kembala Chitawa, the Chiniki Tamcha, do Chicha to Mosundo, Topata Derwa, Zewa you there. Derwa. She's so much. Gayu Kunjo Sundi, you and there some bears, Gayu and Kundo, that the Joksum Derwa.
Joksum in the warning, because of the sick Shiba.
Shiba.
Mobile Guani.
Mobile Guani is Nigola Shabata. Takajet, what the legend happened, he can't check that together. Oh, Tadanga Nishu, Tadati. 중리가 와 와들라 내가 군조 숨다 치료비에서 덤바니기나네 군조 숨 코나 잡서 지외 돼서 지외 쓰는데
that's
내가 오라 가서도 딱 같이 타바다 탐제 캠바 되게 가사게 되다 안지나 잡 출루 건가를 잡여 봐 그래서 잡여 돼 얘네다 타바다 탐제 캠바 되는 얘기들아 타바다 탐제 캠바 다티 누게지다 Tombapote, Jab Tombapote, Jab Tombabo, Jab Mueta, Jab Tubeta, Rosanta, Jab Sumdina, Jab Tombapote, and Tabata Tamje Kebelam, running a new ten to Gench. And trade get Tabata Tamje Kemata, when I took to win that church go your water. And Tato Tinashik and better to get go you as a water and the legend. Because della 군조 숨다 치료에 dombaniki nana and da 군조 숨 코나 잡서 다 군조 타바다 탐지 잡아 더도 얘기지 임바이나 아니 군조 숨 코나 잡된 거랬어 아니 더도 많이 그는 내줄로 가러 와 더도 얘기는 군조 숨 코나 잡된 거랬어 그래 지다 잡 군조 숨 증거랬어 그게 말이고 줄로 소소 잡로 열어 다 타바다 탐지 잡아 더도 얘기지 임바이나 아니 잡내들다 잡말로 밀어 가지고 이제 군조 숨 코나 내 버렸어 And
so we have been discussing the subject of refuge, and it's important to understand that yes, that though many different spiritual traditions have their own versions of refuge and what you're going for refuge to and what you're going for refuge for, within the Buddhist context, if you are intending, if your aspiration is to attain liberation or the omniscient state of enlightenment, then you must go for refuge to the triple gem, the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, because they are the only ones who are kind of like they are qualified to lead for you to be able to lay down the causes to attain such results. So the Buddha as the one who demonstrates or teaches refuge, the Dharma as the actual refuge, and the Sangha as those who exemplify what to do, and they are those who lead us or assist us on the path. And that it's important to make sure that that is the case. Of course, in other situations we go for refuge for different reasons, but when it comes to our intention or motivation to attain liberation and the omniscient state of enlightenment, we must go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha as the unmistaken refuge, as those who are capable of leading us to those goals.
다들 원도 고마 쌈 토발라 배나 원도 하다미 고마 쌈 토발라 다 아니 잡대 녀바도 가서도 잡내 구조서 이거 계획 말해 이거 말다 된적을 된 토발라 오다 거그랬어 된적을 된 토발라다 즉 가서 타바다 탐지기만 먹고 된적을 된 토발라에 아니 잡 밀어와지 다 된적을 된 대투가 거그러 와다 원도 하다미 고마 쌈 토발라
So even to make a further distinction, if all we require is to attain a fortunate rebirth as a human being or as a celestial being, it may not be necessary to go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha as one's refuge. But if one is aspiring to take a precious human rebirth of the leisures and endowments, then it is necessary to really have the unmistaken refuge of Buddha, Dharma and Sangha.
산제는 고체배사고 순조자니도 변제사고 제주되고 송기는데다 양라 주조자시다 되봐 소야 레레라야 심제 탐제 라라의 깨도 최된누바 다 두고 연대라 켜바다 제와 니레 켜베 지다와다 진입에 최 탐제 지자도 고송도 똑바다 제외 연대는 심제 탐제라 마부 집어서다 투제 친구 니레메고 주베서 뒤에 뒤지 봐봐 이만은 깨지자 미다와 틀레 배주 매버다 배주 매버 흉주 죽지 규미셔버다 대봐 오자.
And so as it says from the text known as the 70 verses on refuge, that the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha are the refuge for seekers of liberation. And so then if we contemplate further on the different qualities of the triple gem and the objects of refuge, that in terms of the Buddha, it's said that the Buddha's body has 32 signs and 80 marks exemplifying a great person, and that their speech also has 64 different beneficial qualities of eloquence and so on, and in the way that the Buddha can make one pronouncement, but it is understood by whoever's listening in each of their own language, and also it is understood in the way that they can gain the most from it. And also the qualities of the Buddha's mind, of love and of knowledge. Knowledge of both conventional and ultimate objects of knowledge, and that they can simultaneously understand both directly, and the qualities of love, compassion, etc., such that they really hold all sentient beings with great compassion, which is non-discriminating in the same way as a mother would regard her only child. And that this is in a way that something that never diminishes, it's constant, and they never miss a moment in being able to being able to benefit their disciples. And also the qualities of a Buddha's skillful means. They have the triple quality of being effortless, spontaneous, and unbroken, unstopped.
최기 연대는 산제 연대 타야바다 때문에 롱다도 라타베나 차차바이나 나라도 산제 꿀라 베나 다 이담라서 왔다 엔데 꿀 나서 정도도 와 어다 텐데 꿀만 벌다 가이나 민다 뭐 가이나서 때때나 말 상계에서 아니 뒤제 감다 매번 나서 봐 친구여서 아니 뒤제 강라 간두게 뒤제 가실라는 배나 도지 직제 권에 두고에 뒤제 가실라는 내조 말 권에 두고에 뒤제 가실라는 고에 삼아자 뒤제 가실 작을 삼바와 아니 가실라다 가서다 이담 때다 대전다 가자 민다 좋은 되기도 와 용도 이담 나서 봐도 왔다 근데 뭐가 지금 정말 되게 삼사도 와 근데 가서 뒤제 감다 매번 나서 와 아니 다가 이제 다 아니 저 자다弄的看个着当那说话就话也是아니具体那说话用的还有个那说话差的我到的三节可能다三节差的아니对家的了偏的对了跑完对아니对家的看到突把真的da还那么那说话就用的中国多
And also that when we regard the varied representations of enlightened beings through the meditational deities, the various statues and so on that we have. And so the purpose behind that is that it's really serving the limitless variety of dispositions, personalities and so on of disciples of those who have connection with those particular deities. So this is the objective, that once one attains enlightenment, then one has the capacity to manifest in whatever form that will be of most benefit to disciples according to their particular dispositions, etc. So that's why we have, for example, Yamantaka. For some disciples have a connection with Yamantaka. Vajrayogini, Igoya Samaja. And so it's also dependent upon the individual's the channels of winds and drops, the kind of subtle body element related to the tantric deities. And so this is why there are a variety, like with Yamantaka, Vajrayogini, Chakrasamvara, Guya Samaja, etc. So there's a variety of deities.
산제 고라 찍어 산제 찍을 때 이나야다 저 뒤제 되었다 배멜 흔조도 차게 제마 이상 배줄로 마도와 차게 다 뒤제 뒤라 미원도 아니 고랑게 감다 투바제네 아니 자다 하이 나바나서 좀 되기도.
And so that you can think of like one Buddha, but due to that is operating in a way that is both effortless and spontaneous. And that so in this way it then operates to emanate the form of body that is going to be most compatible with the disciples that they are going to help.
What is on the daughter? What did it do? So, better Chachavina, better Chachama, better Chachavina, better Sange Chomden Deke, Sange Chomden de Tao Chachavina, Sange Chomden Deke, da Jizun German number of Duku Jovina, and the Council of German Antage. Jambe yang dugo 했지만 jambe yang number not age. 제레스가 두고 제레스 차나 도제 두고 차나 인지비 차나 도제 심바인데 인바이팅 제 먹어 봤잖아. 차나 도제 낭 줘야 주고도. 다 가서나 디 뒤자 딜라 다 딜라 밥서나 가리 편 도와 차와나 디 나두고 요마다.
And so, for example, that take the historical Shakyamuni Buddha, who will then emanate, spontaneously according to the needs of the particular disciple, what they have an affinity towards, and what their situation in terms of the winds, channels, drops, and so on are. That they will emanate as either Tara, or it can be Manjushri, or as Chenrezig, or as Vajrapani. That it's according to what is going to be of most benefit.
단데 상계 좀 된데 벤 찾아와이나 자고 풍보리라 시정도 도대로 뭐저 송야 가라 자고 풍보리라 자고 풍보리 비철 부고 hils라 그래 자 시정도 도대로 무서 불철픽
yeah 불철픽
단데 시정도 도대로 뭐저 송 뒤다 뒤지 찍고 찍잖아 뒤지 찍고 찍잖아 아니 내 다나 가져가 소줘라 아니 뒤고 자주 송하러 와 그래서 다 뒤가 뒤고 그 자주게 아니 뒤자 미원도 뒤지 다가라라 상계 좀 되고 뒤게 개변 나바샤 뒤콜에 나바샤 what is all
and so for example that when the historical Buddha Shakyamuni Buddha was giving discourse on the perfection of wisdom sutras specifically the Heart Sutra, at Vulture's Peak, he also was simultaneously manifesting as Kalachakra, giving the Kalachakra Tantra in the south of India. And so this is like exactly at the same time to be able to emanate like that in order to be of benefit in such a vast way.
어디서 딱 간저 산제기 아니 제 가서 되다 저 연대에서 그 나라도 로유 중앙심도 로유 중앙심 말하다.
So these kind of qualities that we speak of that pertain to a Buddha, an enlightened being, are really quite inconceivable really for us as ordinary beings.
어디로다 틸레자 배주메버 흔적 주제 주미셰바 대바고 최제 연대는 산제 연대 타예바다 대바 대 롱다 도베 최어서 고바다 람지 대바 교연방와다 연대 주베 다니제 응원도 제바다 고발의 중에서 고발 중에 냠도 삼신사 견디는 저거 법에 가서 남긴라 사다 돈이 고속도 법에 가서 남긴라 대야 최제 연대 제만이 대 출신도 주고 거네 점벌차 개발 시에 생리 주변에서 개발은 산재는 뭐버 저거 장주변 생리제 일라 최네 대 제보다 견디는 현재 명아제 양다고 주변 생리제 칠레기 개발의 점보다 롱보바다 반자 봉와라 미바다 뭐버 쪽에서 칠레제 넣어서.
And so then the qualities of the Dharma are that through the limitless qualities of the Buddha arise these aspects of the realizational and scriptural dharmas, and that they have also the quality of the true cessations and true paths, and that also the qualities that it really Dharma incorporates this abandoning of all false and the establishing of all good qualities, and it has the nature of establishing these good qualities through meditation and direct perception. And thirdly, the kind of characteristics or qualities of the Sangha jewel, that strictly speaking they are Arya Sangha beings mainly, but they also have those who are mindful of the qualities of the Dharma and mindful of also being able to practice those aspects perfectly. And then we have a list of kind of distinctions according to the defining characteristics of the triple gem. For example, when we take the Buddha jewel, the Buddha has the characteristic of manifest complete enlightenment. The Dharma has the characteristic of what is the result of that manifest complete enlightenment, and the Sangha have the characteristic of fully practicing, putting into practice those instructions.
다다데 최들라 다 반자 제 거스자도 가서 다다데 그래 최들 가서 어고데 공대다 납대 샤기도 와 콜럼디 와 샤기도 다 진짜 다 배낭 가라도 칸도 때 봤다 아니 제가 가서 다 검자와다 가라도 잡아도 최도 와다 최스 그래 가서나 된대게 줄라 좋대게 이와서 수업은 또 최고 높은 자도 최제 스기로 와야 다 직직 스기로 와다 이나 다 좋아데 아니 제 가서다 제가 가서다 저 코알레 타에 채도 아니 뭐저 지금 배나 지금 최 로제 체에다 롭종 체에다 다디가 최저 가서 디 교로 좀 안, 디제도 최좀 송에다 가서 내게 가서 동리 모습도 또 동리 모습도 또 배 로데다 최고조 원에 차게 되기도 와. 로 딜라 때나다 지바 방한테 고된테 최고조 차되기도 와. 최고로다 고된다 람데니라고 알았다. 람데데 돈이 모습도 배 싫었지. 고된데 안 돈이 모습도 배 싫어 지바 방도 방받으러 와. 또 고된 쓰기로 와다. 시와티 디스기로 와. 와다 이내한다 디토발라 땡에지 고요래. 로와 땡에지 토발라야 추림 고요래. 근데자다 디제도 추림 송아도 거기 최제스기로 와. 최제스기로 와다 어때 최제스기로 더 어때 근데 이마에서 아니 뭐자 탐에에 긴도 이마에 긴도 구조 두신 샤고에 가서 다디 추림도 송고 요바 인사. 아니 땡에 타바 토발라 아니 도나지 지고 요바 인사. 되니 지고 요바 인사. 안 냠내 지고 요 인자 대신 안데 기도 구조가 뒤에 샤스게 소르와 뒤에 샤스 딱 기도 구조 마음에 가서 돈이 무슨 또 베시랍티 귤레 땡겐티 아니 그거서 귤레 땡게 가사데 차고도 와 최대 돈이 무슨 또 베시랍다 아니 디 방법니티 어디를 쳐
And so that in a more strict sense, when we talk about, for example, the Dharma jewel, that as was referred to there in those list of characteristics referring to Dharma, but in reality it really refers to the true path and true cessation, because that is pinpointing what the key aspect of all our, whether we're engaging in the prayers, our commitments, our practices, and so on. The main thing is that we're looking to gain liberation from cyclic existence, and in order to be able to do that, we need to be able to really realize emptiness directly. So when it talks about true cessation and the true path leading to that true cessation, it's really referring to the wisdom that realizes emptiness directly. So that is what can really uproot the main root of what keeps us in cyclic existence, and therefore it is the key to liberation from cyclic existence. Now, of course, to be able to do that, we need to have really powerful meditative concentration, and to be able to gain or cultivate such concentration, we need to do that on the basis of a perfect ethical conduct. And so this is where more the kind of like the nuts and bolts of practice reside. And so this is when we talk about the practice that we need to do, and that which is exemplified by the Sangha. But after all, even the Sangha jewel, when it's strictly speaking, are those Arya Sangha beings who have actually realized the true cessations and the true paths. And so they are the true Sangha jewel. But for the purpose of what is practical, it's those who exemplify this kind of practice of good ethical conduct, good meditative concentration, because they are exemplifying and exemplars of how we should proceed ourselves and engage in those practices. So that is what we talk about when we talk about Dharma practice. We know what the goal is. We know what we need to do in between to reach that goal. So it's the ethical conduct of, and meditative concentration to give rise to that wisdom, realizing emptiness.
다 매발에 좋아네 니고라사 니고라 셴바다 니고라사 셴바다 원도 자와라 셴바다 최다 튠베서 돌아 셴바오서 주베 제바네 림바다서 최바다 림조 자와다 주베 제바네 다 근데 최바다 림조 자와다 내저게 좋아라 콤바 자와 콤바 자와다 최다 산센제서 론주 투몽기 주바오서 제정게 제바네 대다 산제 좀된데 데네 셔소게 소소 요데 잡어 어떤 산제 요데 잡나 산제 제체스로 어쩌다 아니 소나 페바 조발이 조에 케반에서 간사다 최적 온도 집에 소나 페바고 켈렘베 잡소 조안에 산제라 잡소 도바고 초라 잡고 기도라 잡주베 다조소 집바고 저
And so then there's the different distinctions. So distinction in regard to devotion. And so here it speaks about in relation to the Buddha. We should have a sense of a wish to kind of revere, pay homage, pay respect. And in terms of the Dharma, we should have the wish to really realize the Dharma directly. And in terms of the Sangha, we should have the wish to associate with friends who are harmonious with the Dharma. Then there's the distinction with regard to practice, and says here that here practice is worshipping according to the stages, and accustoming ourselves to spiritual practices, and practicing by going to teachings and using material objects. Then there's the distinction of recalling, remembering the triple gem, and here it is recalling the various qualities of the triple gems, such as the qualities of the Buddha and so on. And then there's how to increase our merit that and the merit can be increased in relation to persons and in relation to objects. And then there's also the commitments of going for refuge, and here it's first in recognition of the Buddha as the actual teacher of refuge, the Dharma as the actual refuge itself, and the Sangha as those who are companions on the path and who exemplify that path. And further, the commitments of refuge is that one should not go or advocate any other person or being to go for refuge to, and that we should be able to distinguish between those who are those who we should go for refuge to and those who we shouldn't go for refuge to. And so there also should be the ability to distinguish between respect for and going for refuge to. And so that means that in terms of other teachers, that we should retain respect for all other teachers of other traditions, etc., but not go for refuge to them. We go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha.
Because the Semjen Ranaso, the Kamda Meba, not so about the Yoba, the Shibetone, and the Kamda Meba, the Tubegin, Pendojeta, Koran, Chulu Shembatan, Tapena. Don't buy Shabbat with Jigu, there are Jesuit, what did it check? And what did it check? You know that there was no Rangi, Randi, Taba, the Tamji Kamba Dugu, Taba, the Tamji Kembeke, and Lam Tingo Dingimento. They think a Mavana, Dilatin, and did with the Yoga Mavayinsa, and so that go to the Tutu Mavayinsa. What I did, Yawa Shibaton, that does to it, Manoachi, what did it check?
And so that in this, for the same reasoning that was mentioned before, that sentient beings are of varied personalities and dispositions, and that therefore a variety of different teachers of different spiritual traditions are necessary in order to bring benefit to the wide variety of sentient beings. And so therefore we retain our respect for other spiritual traditions, teachers, and rejoice in the benefit that they bring to other sentient beings. But having faith in them, faith in a way that we go for refuge to them, that would be illogical, because if we're wishing for to attain a state of liberation, we need to have teachers that are able to demonstrate that path to us. And so if they don't, then it's no point in going for refuge to them. And so here we need an unmistaken refuge to be able to lead correctly to these goals of liberation and the omniscient state of enlightenment.
That dinner, don't do not Mati Delam de Junsun as a Chivo Lamala, Rang Chivo Lamala, Chivo Lamale, Guichale, Matota. Don't do not Mati Delam de Junsun as a Chivo Lamale, Guichale, Lama Yidam, Paul Chujo, so part to never to them. What that? Rang Chivo Lamalai de Lamalai le, and because of Tugaleta, because we said to the Chivo Lamale, Tugale said to Guichana Chivo Lamale, Guichale, we said to the Lama Yi down Kujo, Lama Yi down Kujo, Sunda, Power Country, Chujo, so Nanga Kama, but train. And Chivo Lamale, Gui is a Tago to sugar as a Gavinam setup, and the Daji is a Kuson to you, the Chile, that Java, that tension. Temperature tension to that Timbangana, that's a not near to Shevanam, Lion set up Tapina, the Nagab Jabjere, Tagane, Idare, Tagane, Dudure, 되게 동해 되게 라야 세답전 라야 세다데서 세다데 직신 장 예외 권 어다 권다 되게 맞게부터 삼로다 그거는 안에 다다 마신저 단제 심저 단제 지고 질코하다 켜버리냐 소스게 지고래 다다니도 잡수스 냐베 안에 소하다 잡도스 냐베서 듬바다 뎀베서 라마이다 군조솔라서 잡수 치셰 잡도 다 렌자다 지보다 소소 잡도 가서 사기나 같이 잡도 사기나 오다 저 삼탐 잡도 사체 잡도 사 오다
So that then, according to the concise practical guide to the Path of Bliss text, it describes how we again bring our mind to the Guru deity on our crown, and that from the body of our Guru deity on our crown, emanates these the Guru and the meditational deities, the triple gem, Dakas, Dakinis, and the Dharma protectors, that whole merit field, into the sky around, and also they spread out there, and also from the Guru on our crown, and then is surrounded also by the objects of refuge, and visualizing them very, very clearly. So this begins a kind of a practice of refuge, and then from that we. On the one hand, really recall the good qualities and the enlightened activities of the body, qualities of body, speech, and mind of the triple gem, and then simultaneously also we bring to mind again what has been explained regarding the sufferings related to the lower realms of the hell realms and the hungry spirit realms and the animal realms, and generate a healthy sense of fear and terror with regard to that, until that arises really crystal clear in our minds. And then we make our supplications that for myself and all sentient beings in general, to gain protection from the sufferings in cyclic existence, and in particular through our fear of the sufferings related to the lower realms. I urgently now request refuge and make this a powerful supplication, and to all the refuge, the merit field figures around, and then we say, I go for refuge to the triple gem, to the gurus and the meditation deities and the triple gem, and continuously repeat that depending on what time you have, in what context you are in, 100 times or 1,000 times, 10,000 times, or even 100,000 times. At least it should be 7 times.
What is set up, and that dinner signal that Lama Yidam Kosar.
Lama Yidam Gonchuk Sumna Yapsitu.
Lama Yida Kujosola Jobs, Lama Yida Kujosola Jobs, was what the sun Yana Namjun, Lama Jobs, Sangela Jobs, Chula Jobs, Kidula Jobs, what did the sun integrate? That could the Sagine, Lama Jobs, Lama Jobs, and Lama Tebe, that Dibaka decide you by now. Dibaka Sajama, Dani, Lama, that Kajawa, and two Balaso, Takaja, Lama Maguba Chavala Sobativa, Kajaman, Nani, Randa, Ransom, Tanjagoda, Dibataja Macho Macho, some such. Sangela Jobs, Sangela Jobs, Sangela Jobs, Sangela Jobs, and a Sangela Tembeta, Sanjo, that could song your Chavala son, and that Karjamana, that Sangela Tembeta, Dibaka Sayana. What did it say? And the Chola Jobs, and Chola Tembetical Cristina, that Chubunga, so Cristina, but rather as better, none, don't some such. That can do the Tebe, can do Quartovala Sobata, can do Yanjabala Sobe, and can do the Tebe, Cristina, that none, don't you some, what did the conversation, what the size of Grota, Lama Jobs, Jarakashasa. Then, because of the Sanjala Jarakasha church, and he can do what the Jarakasha and Dr. Sagan and Gurwa, what the church.
And so that the recitation part can be as it's laid out here in the text. I go for refuge to the gurus, the meditational deities, and the triple gem, and repeating that again and again and again. Or one can split that up into each individual object of refuge, starting with the guru. And as Genna pointed out, is that I go for refuge to the guru, I go for refuge to the guru, I go for refuge to the guru, repeating continuously like that, whilst also understanding or reflecting on the object of purifying all negativities that one has accrued in relation to the guru. Whether it's showing disrespect or being critical and so on, or whatever negativities that one can and cannot recall in relation to any guru. And so one feels that in the process of repeating, I go for refuge to the guru, I go for refuge to the guru, one is really purifying all those specific negativities. And then we do that like several hundred times, and then you turn your attention to the object of refuge of the Buddha. I go for refuge to the Buddha, and again repeating that continuously and simultaneously, with the understanding that one is purifying all negativities relating to the Buddha, whether it's be critical of a particular Buddha statue and so on, or any other negativity that we've accrued in relation to the Buddha. And then I go for refuge to the Dharma, and again I go for refuge to the Dharma, and simultaneously one is purifying any negativities with relation to the Dharma of forsaking the Dharma and so on, and any other related negativities. And I go for refuge to the Sangha, and purifying negativities of creating division within Sangha ranks, etc., etc. Any other negativity that one can and can't recall, that you feel that at the conclusion of one's recitation, that all such negativities are completely clear, gone.
대나네 아니 라멘 넘버 10 되게 아니 초기 신 대달래 아니 뒤에 나가 메시지가 규범네 아니 또 뒤에 가보실 때 와서는 토마토 버들 캐바도 다 라말 때문에 다 쳐서 안다 산제야 지 초신 용서 캐바도 아니 산제게 넘버 10 되게 다 버다 어떻게 이 다음 그 하다 되게 다 아니 다가리시 산제 수주송알라서 왔다잖아 산제 캐바도 산제 동백이라서 되게 큰가네 지 초신 용서 캐바도 된줄 꼴에 뒤에 봐 어다 삼당의 집을 시작하지 사제들 같은 다소 삼사전 어들 고마시 다네 내가 철라 때문에도 어다다 어들 그다 가서래다 이제 저 가서래 대다가 뒤나 아니 저 가서래다 저 최고 송분 다 부디 제대다기 에는 송 부디 나봐 유되게 안데 초신 용사 제바도 대다기다 부디 나봐 유되게 대다래 뒤에 나가 규범에 어다 제수 삼사체 아니 기도를 제도 어다까지 제 초신 용서 캐바도 아니다 제 가서데 제 가서데 가서다 자주 선배 자주 파베 자주 선배 파베 가서 넘버 때가 다 다가는 시 녀라다 어다 되게 나간 최종 송마다 되게래 아니 두제 규범에 아니 어다 기도를 때부터 다소 삼사체 안데다 고수도 연대 발을 총서 어디다 고마신 어디다
And then in more detail again, that one can, in the context of the fact that we have the merit field spread out in the space in front as well, we said that we can focus on the specific members of the merit field, even though of course all the merit field members are fully enlightened beings, that we can, for the benefit of our visualization, focus on all those who have the aspect of guru, our own particular teachers, our own gurus and so on, and that and use the colored nectar light, descending nectar light meditation. And that so in this context I go for refuge to the guru, focusing on that grouping in the merit field, and from them these nectar lights emanate with the white light predominant for purification. And so we purify all negativities in relation to the gurus. And then when we focus on going for refuge to the Buddha, we focus on all the those in the aspect of Buddhas in the merit field, like the 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate eon, the 35 Buddhas and so on, and that the light emanates from them, again white, purifying our negativities in relation to Buddha. And in relation then, when I go for refuge to the Dharma, we also have visualized in front of the different members of the merit field a small throne on which sits various texts, Dharma texts, and that here the light emanates from the texts themselves, and that we go for refuge to the Dharma with that visualization, purifying all negativities in relation to the Dharma. And then when it comes to I go for refuge to the Sangha, we can visualize all the great bodhisattvas in the merit field, and also the Shravakas and the Pratika Buddhas, that they can represent the Sangha, and also the Dharma protectors as well as in the merit field. And so they can, and then we go for refuge to the Sangha, purifying all negativities in the same way in relation to the Sangha. So this is the kind of visualization and practice related to the practice of when we're actually doing the refuge, accumulating refuge mantras in kind of preliminary practices. And so then, having gone for refuge to the Triple Gem, then we gain an understanding of the benefits, both temporary and ultimate benefits of having gone for refuge, and by doing so can really perfectly put into practice the precepts of refuge. Jordan la sowa nam jesa jasu sa dubu che zenden je kande chibala nyejin je longso le jowa nyendwe dajoba la sa jamju jebe sa peyun dezam juna sanje la da nyendwe dajoba de le jasu jowa la peyun de yongu yina an sanje la jasu sona ne dajime shepo de se teya chisaba tamje joba nyudo sanje wa woja. And so then with regard to the benefits of going for refuge, and so they are 8 in number that are enumerated. One is that one becomes a Buddhist. 2 is that one is also becomes a candidate for all future vows. 3 is that one all the obscurations that one has previously accumulated are lessened and reduced and ultimately extinguished. And 4 is that one can accumulate great merit. And 5 is that one can avoid falling into the lower realms. And there are 2 examples given here. One is that through fear of the lower realms, one going for refuge. So this is Devaputra, who was destined to be born as a pig in the future life, and then through this fear of the lower realms went for refuge to the Buddhas, and ended up as a celestial being in a higher realm. And then there's the example of fear with regard to this life, and this is the account of the Shravaka Arhat Purna. His wealthy brother was on a ship carrying cargo of sandalwood, and that it got involved and obviously met with bad weather. There was a massive storm. The ship was about to sink when the brother went for refuge to Purna, and as a result he escaped death. He was able to be rescued or freed. And so it's saying here that if such benefits can come from going for refuge to one who is an arhat from the Ashravika arhat, then what need we say about the benefits if one actually goes for refuge to a fully enlightened Buddha? Then other benefits are that we can ultimately attain all our wishes, and that we can quickly attain the state of enlightenment.
심지어 투자 랑랑 고바서 산제에서 가라서 되도 투리게 봐. 가라서 되도 람라 라바. 가라서 되도 고바서 산제. 다 가라서 되도 타지 봐. 다 주투 누가 차상와져 다 산제. 다 가라서 거네 투제 상고디 마산데. 가라서 거네다네 저 산제가 연내 셰베 거네다. 제 가서도 제 코하다 개원이야 손을 동에래 직시다. 텔레교변 누가 산제가 잡서 좋아한데 아니 지금 라완 매바잖아. 다 같이 지금 가서도 잡서 좋아한데 아니 냐소라 마동에다. 다간에 생게 지 가서도 삼베드 다 쳐도 tumbe 되는데 레라보쳐도 죽투에 지금 다 땡기 또 보고 요. 그래서 저와지 요 봐. 다 알아서 파트와 샤마도는 하대 버리면도 다 파트와 즉 셀롱아지 샤도가 있나 근데 산제 주편도에 네가 찾아 된대요 그러다 어디래도
So when the seventh of those benefits being that we will accomplish all our wishes, of course this relates to those wishes that are in harmony with the Dharma, of course. It's not just anything. When it says we can quickly attain the state of enlightenment, it means that yes, this is our goal, and we have having gone for refuge, we have the means that we can accomplish that as our goal. We have now the capacity, the capability, the potential to really do it, and we have the cooperative or conducive conditions to be able to bring that off. And so it's saying within these benefits are these potentials that we can, and that by understanding the qualities of an enlightened being, we seek to emulate those qualities. We are then inspired and take it into our own hands that we must indeed take that on and avoid, for example, obstacles such as being born in the lower realms, and then being able to continuously persist in our practice, so it becomes more easily. And so it talks about here being able to quickly attain the state of enlightenment. Yet it is the case as long as we remain with our in the Dharma, as it were.
소설랍자도 소설랍자도 가벨랍자도 주벨랍자 니체 당분내는 가벨랍자도 산제라 장소소를 하셔라 차주미자서 다 로다 차주미자서 차주 다 간제제 제 대배 군내라네 아니 다 차주미자자 또 그거 제초와자 아니 저 초바에 배제 지고도 다 대배 군내라네 즉 타바다 담제 대배 군내라네 초바 비에 맞죠 어디 인게 다 철라 장소소에 심제라 9Sep18 와자
So then there's a further advice concerning each of the three triple gem in turn, and then advice relating to all in common. And then there's also advice kind of like that which is proscribed, and that is which is prescribed, and that saying once one has gone for refuge in the Buddha, then one should avoid going for refuge to other deities, or prostrating, paying homage in this way. And if one is making offerings and so on, that's fine, but not with the mind of faith in them. And that when one has gone for refuge to the Dharma, one should avoid causing harm to any sentient being. And once one has gone for refuge in the Sangha, one should not associate it with those holding wrong views. Yeah.
chula japsu sowe simjala 9Sep18 kindola japsu sowe draw mudi chida mitro wasa ta draw mudi chida mitro wasa ta kaja mitro wasa ta tela lege che chora ta kaja chik kaso ta chik wadende chen ta lege sa chida yiji che sa ta yokorda ina ta kaja chik rangi nyamlen che la ane ta draw ma deba tempo techi ta tela nyobo choichi.
And so that's a third one there of not associating with wrong view holders. The actual term is tirtikas, which means in ancient times those which fall outside the ranks of Buddhists. But it says here, yes, to not associate with them. One can, of course, associate, but then not to fall under their influence is really the way it is. That in such a way, particularly that it would harm one's Buddhist practice. So yeah, when it says it's a bit strict when it's put in the sense here, not associate with, that might be quite difficult to find anybody you can hang out with. But that it means that you just don't fall under their influence, and that you are constant with regard to your commitment to your practice, your spiritual practice. And indeed, indeed, one should have the objective when one associates with these kinds of people, that it is in order to actually improve your own practice, that it will enhance your commitment to Buddhism.
제 미다바 소자 제다도 대시와 고소라 다지 디야고도 디야고면도 세 오데네 마이버처 오데네 제마다바 오데네 니바 투모게 랍자네사 아니 구조송제 제바다 유대 제소 점백코네 양다 양도 잡수 좋아 아니 가지 첨부 제소 점백 뒤다도서 최발라 준시 사와다 자외 피피와다 최발라 준시다 지금 랑게 사동 컨디션이 있는다 포바다 되게 정말 중요한 구조를 조합을 했는데 지라비 있어도 마슈에 어때지 아니 이제 집에 제소 템베서 좋아셔야 취대다고 거 봤다 좋아셔야 아니 대답이 가서다 대답이 가서다 지금 냠내 지를 좋아게 했어요 그래 얘네 부시 맞지 맞잖아 좀 전에 제 가서다 somos chulu kashe sheba todo yoda mixe yishula shugu ten ben chas ko todo mai bachan ine ya rangi nyamlenge tone ene tega da twa ge chuna ya tsigdo ma busha malab ja sanje ma bula kashe ya ninje ti kaso de leg onge ya de ba me de yogurwa la ba rangi nyamlenge tone de da la pema tuye de da la da ji ro ba che tuye da kaje twa ge tuye chi ro 다 대다 가시 쪼신 거네. 아니 그래서 지금 냠내들 주토나도 야보러 봐. 어떤
And the second category then is the practice or advice in common with all the Triple Gem, with all the members of the objects of refuge. And so it's saying that once again, when we should go for refuge whilst recalling all the different good qualities of the Triple Gem, and then whilst recalling all the great kindness of the Triple Gem, we should make efforts or strive to constantly make offerings and offer a portion of our food and drink and so on to the Triple Gem. And through recalling the great compassion of the Triple Gem, we should try to emulate that quality of love and compassion, and also it says here to lead others in this way. Again, I'm saying, but that should be very, very subtly done. You should never push your beliefs on anyone else, but just rather to demonstrate your own benefit through your own behavior and through your own practice. and to speak. You can speak about these things with great joy and delight, but not overdo it, because people who are very, I say, don't have the patience to listen to long explanations and so on with regard to these things, and that to avoid, this sort of how do you say, practices associated with Christianity of missionary activity and so on. This is would not be appropriate.
Jawa 강 좀나 양 안 군조소를 르게는 주었다. 자와 컨텐츠 주바이네 안 군조소를 르게다 그다그제 군조소 케 섬지다 같이 어디를 쳤다 르게는 주베. 안 다가네 조조 르게서 조 렌데 야고 송에들도 렌데 갈 주바이네 다 렌데라 지송 야고 제치. 나죠. 안 군조소 소감 세계의 지향은 미보한나 라버차고 싶.
And then also that whatever action we engage in, we should really trust in the triple gem. And this is principally that we recall the law of cause and effect, and that we trust in the law of cause and effect. And also, having gone for refuge in the triple gem, we should be very careful not to in any way abandon them, even in terms of making a joke, or even at the risk of death.
시바 렌델라 as 이치게 대바께바네 지보 다 이치게 대바께바네 지보 라말라 곰시베나네 디다삼데 개외 소라 게라스 개외 소라블레서 아니 규개와 제발레 지보 대와 코나 중시 동네 미중 규미개와 중월레 지보 동네 코나 중시 대와 미중과 숨바데 아니 세배에서 도에서 강사지라 롱시와 랑발라 때네 주에 대화대야 원기회 레사발라 때네 주가이 가서 세마수관다 동에대야 원 미개회 레사발라 때네 주가이바 레 녀바이 레다 깨데 다다 세마수관데 동에 주에데 다 경님에 레녀바지 저거 요대죠 다 규기디 게디니에서 중월에 맞제자 안 가서 마체 장세 계제다 마체나 디 다디 거서도 저분이 마도가 소마도 보다 마체바 이나 아니 저부 시도 쳐와 중대야서 저부 시도 쳐서 중대야서 뭐 계주 군대 결혼 양민영과 시라서 안 계계 양내 거서 계계 양내에서 기소다 자오 셔마베 개왕가게 봐도 길게와도 결론 루제 시도다 루제 시도차 가서 시도차 와실라 큐네 띄우다 가오셔 매베 안 띄우게와 어디 가셔다 소녀를 패원도 소녀를 패줘도 아니 가셔다 사자 다 뒤들 남가야 보면서 지금 가셔배 제쳐보자 춤두고 열었다 로중아 같이 춤두도 그냥 비우나 시도 다 찍대는 집어도 내야 맞대 내가 들라더니 비우게와 내대 좋다 어쩌죠 비우게와 소서 패치와 인서我的这给我앞에서 내고 해줘. 되는데我的내 패치나 쓴 거요.我들죠. 계획다 맞잖아. 다 되게 레사네. 아니 디 레드 용에 계획다 배나 지금 님부터 없이 거는 샤바다 되는 맞중하다. 근데 이번이나 아니 또가 똑치 뭐 용되지. 로다 개와이네 되 개와จะ 사사도 아니 디 다지 컨트롤 소바 미개위 계획 맞중하 이번이나 로다 가서 저와는 녀바도 되고면 줘야지. 되고 똑치 보면 줘야지. 개와 충주 싸워요. 어떤 일로 소고 이거 다 되는 거야.
And so the fourth main outline in this section deals with the subject of the law of cause and effect, and that here it's very necessary to generate the faith of conviction in the law of cause and effect, and that here again through recalling our own Guru deity on our crown and reflecting on that throughout this whole section, We recall that from the teachings of the conqueror in many different places. It talks about that if one generates a virtuous cause, then one will experience a happy result to that, and one cannot experience suffering from that. Conversely, if one generates a non-virtuous cause, one will experience a suffering result from that, and one cannot experience a happy result from that. And so examples of that are that if a person is tormented by heat, and then suddenly experiences a cool breeze where they are cooled down, and so the comfort of that is a result of a previously accumulated virtuous karma, and that this is the basis for it. Similarly, if one feels the suffering of being pricked by a thorn, then one can be assured that that arises from a previously accumulated non-virtuous cause. And so in this way one meets with the first principle of karma, and that is that karma is definite. A second principle of karma is that that karma shows great increase. And so here that even if we accumulate very small virtues or negativities, and that that without taking stock of them, and if they don't meet with any opposing factors, then the result can be very much magnified, very great indeed. Some examples of that are that once a novice known as Kashanti, he insulted a fully ordained monk who happened to have a voice that wasn't very pleasant, and he said that you chant like a dog barking, and that as a result of that he was reborn as a dog 500 times. And then also with regard to a monk who was very hyperactive in a way. It was like hopping around, and he was referred to as by somebody else as a monkey. And similarly, that person who called him that name was reborn as a monkey 500 times. And in this way, it shows that karma shows a great increase.
So that
and again that it's saying that yes, that in these ways all the conditions are there, and if they meet with the substantial cause, the substantial cause is there, they meet with the conditions, then that will ripen into those particular results. And again, it's showing that in the case of the negativities, if they aren't met or opposed by our application of the four opponent powers of purification, then yes, they will definitely increase over time and become a great result. Similarly, virtues in the very same way, they show that a great increase as long as those virtuous roots are not burned by anger and so on. They will ripen into great results.
저도 대 불처 다들 시행도 도대로 붙여 송사의 저 페뇨라 대 디와진 유사 듀장지 생시 다들 다들 시라는 뭐 송사죠 와 디 마스터 듀장지는 생시 와다데 어느 상계 좀 되대 근데 소녀를 배워도 소녀 배다 더 공부로 맞죠 이제 배우러 다시 하는것도 공부하고 나서 하는 방법 아니 듀우지게 대 장지 표현이 있어 상계 좀 되더라 장지 앞에는 대 장지는 제 장지 표현 상계 좀 되더라 장지 시에는 아니 듀우데 배 가다치는 파자 쉬었잖아 파자잖아 아니 당연히 야초 마초는 다 비우데 좋아해 봤다 또 되는 할 게 좋아 아니 되는 다 샤리 보이네 들으게 아니 디 가리 나슬라도 왔다디 산제 외송을 갑라 아니 가사데 아니 다 소녀를 패도록 소녀를 패도도 아니 다 지금 잡아 쉬어봐 로충한테서 다 지금 랑가 파주 처음에 패도고 있어요 다 같이 또 지금 나가야 보면서 또 처음에 패도 아니 로게 봐지고 괜히 비우나 시도스 왔다 데를 라발라 데는 왔다 비우 깨왕 앞잘 돼 버렸어 다 다른데 깨와 타마 개와 타마데 잖아. 다 들었잖아. 다리 안다 가자 지금 사지 좀더 광다 제네. 안다 배 작세 피는다. 가고 싶어 주는. 어다 들었잖아. 배우 개와 뒤다 또네. 다 타마데 잖아. 다 대자다 다 하유를 개와.
Because the trunk the pool,
so
that's so again recalling Vulture's Peak in India, and I said again there's a spot just below Vulture's Peak at another time when the Buddha and his disciples were on alms round, and that during the alms round, this a monkey approached the Buddha and offered some honey to the Buddha. And that was jumping around very excitedly, passed away, then reborn in the celestial realms. And later, it became his story came out, and that at the time of the Buddha Kashyapa, and that he was a novice monk, and that as referred to in this account here, he insulted another monk who happened to be on the road and was kind of jumping over like cracks in the road, damage to the road, so as not to trip. And the novice just said, "Oh, you jumped just like a monkey," and that and as a result of this, he had 500 rebirths as a monkey. And that particular time at Vulture's Peak or nearby was his last of those 500 rebirths. So that so this is the way it is. So that's so it shows how careful we have to be, and that even a very tiny negativity that's accumulated can become a very huge problem for us. So let's leave it there for today.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, okay.
That example is often used where, if you call someone an animal name, that you'll have bad rebirths in the animal realm. But when I'm listening to it now, I'm thinking that the whole point really is like what you just said. It's all about harsh speech, isn't it? Like whatever we say, it's not just because we call someone a monkey. We could abuse them in another way, which is possibly more common in modern society. So that's the whole point, isn't it? It's just about completely watching use harsh speech, rather than there seems to be always an emphasis on monkey, calling people names like animal names in Buddhism, which in modern day life I think maybe is different.
Yeah, I think it's in the main thing, and I was saying too, is like looking down in any way on any other being, that sort of like making small of them or anything like that. And it sticks up, sticks up. And like harsh speech, like you're saying as well, like using any. Obviously, that would be included in that, wouldn't it? Using harsh speech towards anyone. So I suppose like we're talking here when you go down to it, it's any sort of anger or hatred or irritation that arises as informing your motivation at the beginning of, and then out comes the words and so on.
라 먹어잖아. 칭두자 라 먹어잖아. 약수. 아니 민두자들 라 먹어잖아. 약수. 그러다 지금 대준 내단도 10배 톤에. 다 먹으면 라이스가 말보다 대준 내단 10배 톤에 아니 라 먹어야 개치슈지. 근데 와다도 개치슈 라 먹어야 돼.
So I think that certainly what we should learn from these kind of accounts is that to really best to avoid any sort of words like that at all, any sort of name calling at all in any circumstance, and that's the best of all that we get from that. Or harsh speech. And of course, then if we say something like this, and that person happens to be a bodhisattva, for example, that would be really disastrous for us.
The best. That's good.
Small group,
That's good.
okay.
That's good.
I think I already know the answer, but I just want to confirm. If I own an animal, like a cat or a dog, so it's in my household, and that animal kills another animal, I don't accrue any killing karma, do I? As long as I don't rejoice and, you know.
That is good.
nga sote nge nga nge ka kambala ni ki yang chimi ona ane ki thang chimi de sentence shentak de sen na and lady nga saye na no you won't do it.
정말 얘네 다 결한게 야 가서도 디세가 탑시 잡고 로바 잡아이나 건대줄로 가라.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you kind of like facilitate their killing or in any way assist in their killing, that would be different.
다 더더 결한 겨줘요. 디 세바이나 디 세벨 랭녀바 되게 나라 녀바쇼 녀키기 있었잖아.
So to way to deal with that is that if your cat or dog has killed, that you say I'll take on any of the negative karma of that killing. I'll take it on myself. I agree to take it on and make a virtue out of it. So we have a possibility of accumulating virtue in that way.
마시 몽바를 다 탑시게 요마다 나라조 로바체는 마세 탑시잖아 다가르면도 코로나는 삼로고 돈을 제외해 말았다. 그 레시 때 몽바 차대로 디 되다서 오다 든주스는 지나다 뺏사서래. 랭이 남주 같이 두고 말해. 아니 다 든주 달래 든주가 랭이 바카르사 또 심지시 든주리게 렉 컨디션 바이나 아니 도바쇼 삼사자. 아 랑게 든주게 랭이 바카서 딜라테네 아니 든주게 다 동해다 든주를 때는 랭이 바 사단다 하고 왔잖아. 아니 딜레게 서서 nga사베 레여나 딱딱지에 최종 마사베 탁시지에 딜레데 최주에도 와. 삼탄시나
And so that to bring as much detailed analysis into that from your own practice point of view is very, very good. That you are, understanding that the dog or cat in question, they are really in the animal realm. They are, their main difficulty is benighted ignorance. They're operating out of instinct here. To kill like that, there's no sense of their thinking about restraint. No chance of their engaging in any dharma kind of thinking, but they're just following that instinct to kill, and so that you have this sense of fuller understanding of what that kind of mind must be like to be reborn like that, to operate as an animal like that, and that you brings forth this sense of compassion, most importantly of all, and so then you really think that whatever karmas that animal has created right now, I take them on, may they ripen on me, that and also that all beings who have the karmas to be reborn in that realm, as an animal realm, including my own, may I take them on, may they ripen on me now, and to really have that very, very, strongly, that with that sort of understanding of how limited they are in order to be able to do anything, and that I have some sort of broadness or flexibility of mind to take this on, and so you really really inform your compassion as much as you can, and thereby making virtue out of that situation.
든주든주 내다야고 다는 든주 답변에 갱고로 인해서 갱고로서 시바 뇌샤야다 개요 말때 이내다 그 자리 사제 다들 내다야고 다들 이제 코란으로 누가 다직 출주비에서도 냠내지에서도 누가 가나 문도가 누가 가나 문도가 딱 알아서 봐 알아서 코스로 편바 주비에 그게 문도가 딱 칼라를 제라면 뒤면도 시작하야 제도야 문도가 딱 문에 전에 편바 제서도 밀어 제도고도 그래서 미스근데 알아서 삼노다 요래 누가 요래 아니 들라들 알아서 편바 주에 구급시도 와 아니 대줄라 삼노다 든주다 든주내다 들라 삼노다 다 소소 문에 편바 제도에 되게 문에 편바 제도에 밀어리샤 아니 간도도 밀어 편바 주베지 아니 소소가 냠내 야고 제치 들라데나 소소 냠내 공부도 돼 셀라 편도 제게 누가 숙제도 따에다 개치문이 버리 아니 된대 주제는 아니 집에 심이 잡는 야와 있네 야바도 소소 최주에 튕겨를 편도도 와 다티버도 예 심에서 인제보스 남들의 저 고코나 대화는 직전에 소소 든주라 게 교사বে 내가 요래
And so that yes, it's really important to again to when we are observing animals to really use that observation to understand that it's really only as a human being that I have such potential for benefit. That you take any animals like kangaroo, for example. Maybe they're not carnivores or anything. They don't create any much harm. But what possibility have they of benefit, of creating benefit? It's extremely difficult. There's no actual attitude or thought there. It's very difficult, and also from the point of view of even our human capacity to benefit animals. Like apart from feeding them. Trying to care for them. There isn't a great deal. You can't instruct them in any way. There's no way they can recite a mantra or anything like that. And so it's really important to understand that as a human being I have the capacity to reflect. I have the capacity to analyze. I have the opportunities to be able to benefit. And I must therefore, be more conscientious about taking all those opportunities, transforming situations into virtue, into neutral situations into beneficial situations, and that it's really only as a human being I have that. And so it's very important then that if we are looking after animals and taking care of animals, that we should use that situation as practice, and to do that in every other way. Very important. Otherwise, if we're it's just kind of another way of developing attachment. My cat, my dog, it's and you have that sort of more kind of infantile relationship with the animal, then there's every possibility you're creating causes to be reborn as an animal yourself. Yeah. There's a danger there.
지점다 잠도 지지도 초신 바탕이 봐 되게 초 주의잖아요. 랑이 지워대는 라마 저다 통화도 창자. 라마 통화도 창자다. 아니 랑이 니가 그도 저 랑이 때마다 잡지라 줘. 대대는 니마 다외지 대자. 아니 받아서 라마로 다위 니가 보면 그래 고소도 무도 자도서 당배 가서 줘. 아니 받아는 다리 니가 고소도 무도 니가 가서 수배 가서 때도서 산재 공항 마도 받아 저 소소소 가고.
So then we have the merit field, the refuge merit field in the space in front, and so we dissolve all of that merit field back into the Guru Muninja Vajradhara on our crown, and then we set up our seat on our heart center with the upturned lotus, moon and sun disk mandala, and invite our Guru down through our central channel, our glorious and precious root Guru. Come take your lotus and moon seat placed here at my heart. Keep me safe in your kindness, bestowing me the attainments of your body, speech and mind. And with the first time coming down through the central channel, the second time arriving, and the third time then remaining steadfast there at our heart center.
아니 랑이 닝데 다가서 인더스를 만남지 닝 배마다게 마좀네 단남지 닝데 되가데 도지 체가시 아니 타돌아 아니 가서다 어머 아가서 아이 오리리 아마 소았으데 어머가가 서다라고 여러서 하야 소았으데 어머 예다마 해도다 다다가다 하여도 들어마 샤만에 소았데 가데 어디게도 코니 요서 안데나 왜서 촌 랑이 지원네 아니 다 컴베티 봐도 배 왜서 촌 왜세 트레이트는 다가자 루긴 난탑절 왜세 트레이트는 지금 라젠제 로다가자 지금 가서도 다가자 지금 가서다 인연주가 서바게베 객디가 파세 잠니 자주가 섬게 객디가 파세 라젠제 파이엔 안 셴젠제 배 계속 삼사체 아니 다가니체 아니 최탐제 라젠 다도 좋았으면 로디가 바자도 제마시네 아니 다음에 또 메시라 아니 가서다 다 천이 사와체 받아 계속 삼사죠. 원대는 공부시했잖아. 원대는 공부시 원대는.
And then we, of course, then the upturned petals of the lotus at our heart fold over the figure of Guru Muninja Vajradhara, and is sealed at the top with the semi dorje, and then further it's bound by the Sanskrit vowels going in a clockwise direction around, the Sanskrit consonants in an anti-clockwise direction, and the mantra of dependent origination in a clockwise direction. And then light emanates from within those folded petals, and that they permeate throughout our entire body, from head to toe, through every cell of our bodies, and that we have this simultaneously understanding of the clearing away of all obstacles to our being able to develop an unadulterated renunciation, and the obstacles to our developing pure bodhicitta, and the obstacles to our being able to generate the wisdom realizing emptiness, directly correct view, and that all of the self-cherishing that we have, including the seeds of it, are also completely pured away, cannot remain in our body-mind continuum at this stage, and all our potential for cherishing others is fully established.
어디를 왔다 간자 랑게 룽아 예수다 아니 가서 라마샤자스가 룽아도 뭐 예매 주소서 다 심제 탐제 산제 고마 주고 님은 데리 주소서 가와고.
And then we have the certainty that our own body, speech and mind are transformed and become inseparable from the body, speech and mind of the Buddha, and that we have the understanding of having attained our goal of enlightenment, how wonderful that is, and rejoicing in that.
소소 시도 저 롱의 년龄이잖아. 라마샤자스 고대 현지지. 아니 소소 루이데 라마샤자스의 고를 주소 섭섭차.
And then through the combination of our own more subtle mind acting as, or more subtle wind acting as the substantial cause, together with the body of the Buddha acting as the cooperative conditions, our own body transforms into the enlightened body of a Buddha.
소소 시도 저 셈의 년龄이잖아. 라마샤자스가 토대 현지지가 제네. 아니 소소 아니 셈의 라마샤자스가 토를 주소 섭섭차.
And then through the combination of our own more subtle mind acting as the substantial cause with the mind of the Buddha acting as the cooperative conditions, our own mind transforms into the enlightened mind of a Buddha. And now our own body, speech and mind become inseparable from the body, speech and mind of the Buddha. And that the place, our own place, transforms into a Buddha realm. From that arises bliss, and that bliss brings forth emptiness, and we abide in the wisdom of non-dual bliss and emptiness. And then from our own heart center as a fully enlightened Buddha emanates countless rays of light equal in number to all sentient beings in all the different realms, from the hells to the hungry spirits, the animals, the human realms, the asuras and the celestial beings, and that entering into the crowns of all sentient beings therein, purifying them of all obscurations and negativities, and they simultaneously arising as enlightened beings. And then also all the faults of their places, their abodes, are completely purified, and they transform into Buddha realms. So now I have being able to establish the purpose of all sentient beings, leading them to enlightenment as well today. How wonderful that is! I rejoice. And that I know that this does not exist in the way it appears. And I make the dedication that even though it's like in my imagination now, may it become manifest as quickly as possible. And we are Lamrim prayer. From my 2 collections, vast as space, that I have amassed from working with effort for this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by my practice. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path that I have discerned them. May I uphold Buddha's teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time by even this graded path to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children. May all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and create conducive conditions for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread every way.